Hello, all. So we're back again with Survivor South Africa. We're now on episode 8. Last time we had Tevin getting voted out with an idol in his pocket. All right. It was disappointing. I didn't want to see him go. I thought he was a pretty good player, but he's gone. And now Sheamus, that was the name of the other guy that they thought were in charge of the tribe, him and Tevin. And they wanted to get rid of either one of them. And one guy wanted to go for Tevin right away. And Sheamus was the second one, and he's still there, and he was blindsided. Dino, who's the guy that uh, fell asleep and fell into the fire, he was really close with Sheamus, and now he's trying to do damage control with Sheamus, but Sheamus doesn't really trust him anymore. Uh, let's see if we can get a little image on Sheamus there. You can see Sheamus looking like a marathon runner, cheekbones all sticking out, maybe like 2% body fat, something like that. And it's spelled Seamus, but it's pronounced Sheamus for some reason. And he's a sales manager. Let's just say he's not very good at sales because, all right, we'll get to there. All right, so Sheamus now doesn't trust Dino, and he wants to make a plan to get rid of Dino. Then we have Dante, who's on the blue tribe. Those guys were in the red tribe. Dante decided he's going to wake up early in the morning and he's gonna chop off the symbols on the trees that possibly point to an idol at their campground. The idol that is probably hidden underneath their shelter, just like it was on the other shelter in the red tribe, the idol that was found that was only valid for freaking for the first 3 tribals. Even if they found theirs, it's no longer valid, so it's worthless. And the actual real immunity idol, Steffi already found it, and no one knows about it. And then there's also the diplomatic immunity, who they know has it, which is Miriam. All right. But here, he's deciding to cut all the symbols off the tree in case there's a tribe swap. And so he's preparing for tribe swap, what they're going to do, what the situation is. And he decides to make up with Tony, who was playing victim and saying he yelled at her and she had all this abuse in the past and all this stuff. So he's trying to make up with her, and he's trying to say, you can always come to me with a plan. If we can both agree on something, we can work together, all this stuff. And she thought it was very convenient at the moment where he thinks there's going to be a tribe swap that he's now trying to do that, which is obvious. It was very obvious. He's not very subtle about anything he does. And he's not a very clever person. So he's a blunt instrument, if anything. All right. So we get to the reward challenge. They're not doing a tribe swap, and it is a double challenge rather than before where they only had just the immunity challenge. Now they're just doing a reward and an immunity. So the first one is the reward challenge, and the reward is for food. And so for the reward challenge, what they had to do was they first had to build a cart, as a team. Then they had to build the bridge that the cart is going to roll over, and the person that's going to be completing the puzzle in the end is going to be in the cart, right? So they both do that, and there's a lottery at the end of that. So they both do that. They built the cart. Both teams, they built their carts. The first ones to get their carts done and through was the red tribe. The blue tribe was, made up a lot of time, and they were able to catch up to them, and they were very even coming up. But the red tribe had a lead, and they got to the puzzle. And Dino, who's the dumbass that fell into the fire, he's actually very good at puzzles. He's actually well known for being good at puzzles. So he was the one in the cart, and he was the one doing the puzzle, and against Meryl on the blue tribe. Meryl was struggling. Dino was blazing through the puzzle. It wasn't even like she was maybe halfway through her puzzle when he completed his. No, she wasn't even halfway. She was like, she had maybe 3 pieces, and he had a whole goddamn. Let me see if I can get an image of it. All right, like this. This is Dino completing the puzzle, and on the other end, Meryl had maybe these 3 here. She hasn't even got to the red. She haven't even got to the red part. She had these 3 right there, and he's did all of this. It was an insane blowout. So his tribe won the reward, and for the reward they get a meal, and they have to do a lottery for what the meal is going to be. All right, so they spin the lottery wheel, and they got a bag of lentils for their reward meal. Not even cooked food. Like the rest of them is like cooked food. The possibly the worst prize on the wheel was just a bag of lentils, and that's what they got. And they asked if they can get another spin. Didn't give them another spin. Nico, who's the host, he told them what he can do is they can choose 2 people from the other tribe to come with them for their meal of bag of lentils. And they chose the 2 people who they believe is on the out on the other tribe, which is also true, which means it's very transparent. The 2 people they chose was Tony, and what's the other guy? God damn it, I can't remember his name. I knew it for like a second. It was like something stupid. So they chose Tony and the other guy, and right away the blue tribe is worried because they already know Tony's on the outs, and she's a loudmouth, so she's gonna talk. All right, so after they chose those 2 people, one of those 2 people get to spin again for another choice at the wheel, and they spin, and they got I believe mac and cheese. So the reward is lentils and mac and cheese. I guess if you're like in Survivor, that's pretty good, but that's as a reward, man. That's a little ball in it. They oh my god, it just show you the wheel. I like, look at it. They just won mac and cheese, and look at the other thing they could have won: beer, soft drinks, and peanuts. Oh, that's got to be a joke wheel, man. That is hilarious. All right, so they won mac and cheese and lentils for their little reward. So they go on the reward back on the blue tribe. They win nothing. They lose. They're talking about what's going to happen, and right away they're like, Tony's going to talk. She's going to tell the other tribe everything, and she's going to come back and she's going to tell us nothing happened. So, but right back, you go right back. Oh, his name is Tejan. That's his name. So there he is. Tejan. That dude barely speaks. I don't even know if he has even a strategy for the game, but it makes sense that his social skills are trash because he's an engineer. So that makes perfect sense. So him and Tony are the ones chosen to go on the reward. Right away, as they cut back from the blue tribe to the red tribe on the reward, and Tony is talking a mile a minute. There she is, just a freaking mile a minute talking. Look at her, all up in the red tribe's faces, just telling all the secrets. I'm blown away. I was just blown up. I knew she was gonna talk, but like she didn't even take a breath. She was talking the whole meal. I don't even know if she ate anything. She was talking, bro. She told all of the secrets, all where the alliances lie, and it got Tejan a little bit nervous because he knows Tony's very emotional, so it makes it difficult to work with her. And she's also revealing all the secrets on the tribe that he's on. And the red tribe has no reason to keep him around, so blowing up his tribe doesn't help him at all. So they get back to their tribe, and this is the reception they get. So there's the blue tribe. They're just looking at Tony and Tajon coming back. And right away, Tony's talking a mile a minute, right away, telling a bunch of lies. And they're barely even paying attention to her. They're just eating. She didn't even look up. I don't think she looked up even once. And there's another guy on the side. He's just eating. He's not looking at her either. It was it was a glorious attempt at bullshitting from the world's worst bullshitter. Oh my God. I didn't even know this. I didn't even know this about Tony. Tony's a business owner. Tony's a go-getter. And she's just terrible at this game. Just terrible. So she's telling these lies. No one believes her. And she's getting the cold reception. And she's not liking it. And then right after they split up, Tajon goes to Shane, who's the one that was eating. I wasn't paying attention to Tony, and tells him right away everything that happens, how Tony blew up the whole entire tribe and everything. So now the tribe knows Tony's lying, and she reveals everything from the other tribe. So she's like definitely the next to go, because now Tajon, who was like her only ally left in the game, he's out. He no longer trusts her. All right, so. All right, they did that, and then on the red tribe, Sheamus decides to go put his plan into action. He goes to one of the ladies. I can't remember her name. Kilani. He goes to her, and he tells her about his plan to hold on. Who should Ilani right there? She's a martial artist. I didn't know that, but that makes sense now. Just based on her traps and yeah, she's a martial artist. She's also not very bright. Like criminally stupid. It is bizarre how dumb she is, but she's very good at this game. She knows she's not very smart, so she usually keeps quiet, and she just listens to people rather than give any suggestions or give any plans or anything like that. She listens and she agrees with them. There's a very brilliant strategy in this game, especially that's the advantage that stupid people need to have, is to know that you're not that bright. So listen to other people, and if their ideas sound good, if their logic sounds good to you, then just go with that. And if it doesn't, find a different opinion. You know, the best thing you can do as a dumb person is to listen. And she does that excellently. Respect. All right. So Sheamus goes to her and tells her about his plan to get rid of Dino. And his plan is to lie to the ladies and tell them, because one of the things that Tony revealed to their tribe was that Dante was getting rid of all of the alpha males so that he's the only one left, and the girls can't get rid of him because they need him for challenges. So her plan was to throw Dante on the bus and say that it's all him, and this is his plan. But the girls definitely are the ones running that tribe. They're the ones with the biggest strategy, and they're the ones with the biggest alliance. And they definitely can get rid of Dante at any time, and he's just a shield. But she doesn't know that because she's not part of the girls' little clique. So she pretty much throws Dante under the bus. Sheamus is using the excuse to the ladies that because of Dante, he's saying that Dino is trying to keep all the guys on his tribe and get rid of all the girls so that he can combat Dante. Because if the girls stay, the girls are going to work with the girls in the other tribe, and you know that's basically his lie, and that's what he's saying. Dino's trying to do. So he's going around. He first shot it to Kaylani, and she just like nods, and she's like, okay. But behind the scenes, she's saying she's just going to go with the numbers. She's not. That is a very smart dumb person right there. She knows just keep it simple. Don't try to overcomplicate things. So she's not listening to his plan, but she's acting like she's listening to his plan, and she's just going to keep it simple and go with the numbers. She's going to listen to everyone and see where most of the people are going, and that's where she's going to go. Brilliant. All right. So he goes around to the rest of the girls and trying to shop this plan around, but no and behold, they turn on him. Those girls are not listening to anything Sheamus was going to say because they wanted to get rid of him before. They wanted to get rid of him when they thought he was on the top, him on and Tevin were on the top. So it makes no sense. And he has zero read of his tribe. He just got blindsided, but for some reason he seems to believe that he can turn things around. It was ridiculous. Instead of looking for an idol, which hasn't been found, what was found on their tribe by Tevin, but it's gone now, so it should be back in play. He should be looking for an idol, but he's not doing that. He's trying to turn the girls on the guys. It was just stupid. These girls are on this season of Survivor is freaking, they're brilliant. They do not get led around like that. They all have their own plans, and it's the worst time for him to try to do that nonsense because they're not doing this whole feminist shit where they're like, oh, we got to get rid of the guys before no. These girls are strategic and they're very smart and they're making decisions that only help them in this game. So it was possibly the worst seasoning for him to even try to do that nonsense where he divides the guys and the girls. All right. So obviously it didn't work and it turned on him. So we get to the immunity challenge, and it is another puzzle with a little bit of a physical activity in the middle. So what each tribe has to do is they have to untangle a rope. So let me give you a little image of it. So you see there, you see the rope, and it's tied around this log in the middle, and it's tied to the spikes. They have to move the spikes through this little puzzle thing there. But when they're doing that, their ropes are going to get tangled into each other, but they have to do that in order to untangle the huge rope around the log. So they have to do a lot of rope management. So as they're moving it through, they're going to cross each other, and they're going to make sure their ropes don't get tangled together while they're untangling it around this log here. So that's the first part of it. And on that first part, even though they were screaming at each other, the blue tribe was killing it. And it was mostly because of, what was her name, Meryl? Because even though she got her ass whooped by Dino on that reward challenge, on this one, she was very good at rope management and leading her tribe and telling them what to do in order to manage the rope a little bit. All right, but on the red tribe, Dino was also trying to manage his tribe, but he was very nervous and he constantly kept looking over at the blue, and he was not paying that much attention to his tribe, and they weren't doing very well when it came to rope management. All right, so the ones to finish the first part the quickest was the blue tribe, thankfully because of Meryl. All right, so they moved to the second part, and the second part is this right here. They have to jump across. So you jump from this platform to this platform to this platform, and you got to kind of do it back and forth like that. All right, so you can see someone doing it right there. So you can see the blue tribe is way ahead. They have less people, but I think they have like at least 7 people, and they only have 3 over here, while this tribe has most of their people here. So they're definitely way ahead. All right. So that's the second part. So they come to the last part, which is they have to do a word puzzle. All right. So, oops. There we go. All right. So you can see the word puzzle. So what they have to do here, they have to figure out what the words are. All right. So I believe the words is like outplay. I think this one is outplay. This one is outlast. This one should be outlast. And what is this one? I think because all the words begin with O or something like that. So outplay, outlast, outwit. I think one of them is outwit. So maybe this one is outwit. and outlast is somewhere over here. Anyways, so they have to figure out the words, and then they have to assemble the words, and you can see them pushing it through on the board there, figured out on the board, and then assemble it on a net rope. So here we go, get the image of that. All right, so they figure out the words here and then assemble it out here. All right, so you can see the top, they put the O's because they know all the words that begins with O. So I guess it's only 3 words. Okay, so it begins with O, and they have to get all the letters to spell out the 3 words that they're going to need right here. All right, and there's going to be someone up here in this tower that's going to be winching the little net and pulling it up as they add letters to it. As you can see, there's 2 letters over here, 3 letters here, so they're way ahead of the other tribe. The blue tribe is way ahead of the other tribe. And I believe Tony's in the tower over here. You can see Dante right here. All right, so the blue tribe was winning, but for some reason, Dante kept screaming at Tony to keep winching so that their thing goes up so they can keep adding letters. He's the only one screaming at Tony to do that. And other people yell at her because it doesn't seem like she's listening to Dante, but she didn't really need to do a lot of winching because they still had space to add the letters, right? So he keeps screaming at her, pretty much losing his mind, banging the stick on the thing, not really being very helpful, but just screaming at her to winch the thing. Their tribe wins, right? She winches it up, they win, and he's still screaming at her to winch the thing, pretty much losing his goddamn mind. And I'm like, this right here is exactly when she should say that Dante's out of his mind and he's screaming at her. This is the very perfect moment for her to play victim and be like, oh, you know, I've been abused in the past and all this nonsense that she did last time. Guess what she didn't do? That. She didn't do any of that. She wasn't even bothered by it. This lion, listen, Dante, obviously, from this, out of his freaking mind. There's no reason for him to be screaming at her like that. I guess you can be explained by he doesn't trust her and she lied to the tribe and all this stuff and he wants her out of the game. But like he spazzed all the way out, man. There's no reason for him to be doing that to her, especially after they win, and he's still screaming at her. Show you image. Like it was just announced that they won, and look at him, still screaming at her, still screaming at her. And Steffi has to explain to him that they won. There's no reason for him to do that. It was insane. And she didn't play victim. She didn't play victim that time. That's how you know she's a manipulator and a freaking liar. Like insane. They're both out of their minds. I gotta say, that's just crazy. But they won. They won immunity, which means that the red tribe has to go to tribal, which means it's bad for Sheamus because he shot himself in the foot. All right. He goes to all these girls and try to turn them against the guys, and every single one of those girls go either to one of the guys or go to each other, and they're like, they got to get rid of Sheamus. He sealed his fate. No one was targeting him because he was on the outs, and then he tried to make a move and sealed his fate. And he didn't even, and he thought his plan was working so much that he didn't even look for an idol. It was insane. The entire tribe agreed that they're going to vote him out. And Dino says, after Dino found out, he says, someone suggested, what if Sheamus has an idol? And Dino says, you know what? I'm going to vote for Killarney, and everyone else votes for Sheamus, which makes perfect sense. Sheamus only has 1 vote. Everyone else is voting against Sheamus, and his 1 vote is going to tie out Sheamus' vote if Sheamus has an idol. So it was a brilliant plan. But even going into Tribal, Sheamus thought he had the votes. I don't know why. Some of the people that voted out Tevin and didn't inform him about it were some of the women. I don't know why he thought. It was insane to me. It was an insane plan. He was so confident of it. They get to Tribal. I always skip the nonsense talking because people are just lying to each other anyways. They get to the vote. First vote, Sheamus. Second vote, Dino, which is from Sheamus. Then the next vote after that, Sheamus. And next vote after that, I believe, was Kehlani. And there was another vote to, I think, Kehlani, Dino, and Sheamus. Yes, those are the three people that get votes. But in the end, most of the votes went to Sheamus, and Sheamus goes home. It was the worst gameplay I've seen in a long time. I don't know why they thought Sheamus was a threat. He's an absolute idiot. Like, just from the way he played, he got himself voted out when no one was targeting him. It was insane. But until next time.